I'm James Banks. I'm a Professor of Economics at University of Manchester, and I'm also a Senior Research Fellow at the Institute for Fiscal Studies. I'm an economist, and I'm one of the trustees of the Nuffield Foundation. I think the prime mission of the foundation really would be to fund research that enhances or advances our understanding of social well-being and educational opportunity, and helps policymakers who are sort of targeting that as their main objectives in thinking about how the economy and society changes over time. And an important second role, I suppose, of the foundation would be our infrastructural work, where, for example, through the Nuffield research placements or through the Q-Step, we're trying to actually improve quantitative skills and training in the future generations of researchers. When we talk about welfare, I think it's important to say what we don't mean just the welfare state or the welfare system in terms of who's on benefits. I think we conceptualize welfare much more broadly than that in terms of living standards of all different metrics financially, whether that's income or wealth, consumption, housing, or even sort of some less financial measures of well-being or welfare, such as social inclusion and the like. So I think we really conceptualize welfare very broadly, but in a way I think where we like to connect it now is part of this new strategy over the lifetime of individuals in society. So we might think about the way in which welfare can be addressed through policy making, either in early life, in adolescence, in early years in the labour market, through the labour market, or through to retirement. And so really it's a very general conceptualization of the welfare agenda that thinks about the risks that people face over their lifetimes, how various institutions such as the welfare state or the family or employment might interact with those risks to generate living standards, both on average and for different groups in the population. Well, I think in terms of the welfare agenda specifically, obviously the welfare agenda is very broad, so we are looking for research that speaks to sometimes specific policy making options, or the effects of policies, or the effects of particular family structures or family dynamics. And more, or maybe work that relates to some of the cross-cutting themes across the foundation's objectives more generally, that might be things like the degree to which new technologies are interacting with either the world of work or the world of education, the degree to which social inclusion and geographical inclusion might factor into welfare or well-being, if you like, at different points in the lifetime, or maybe the way in which different aspects of circumstances at older ages, maybe pensions, retirement, health, social care costs all fit together. So I think conceptually what makes a good application is really some kind of focus within that welfare agenda on something rather specific, rather than just a sort of broad focus on welfare. And then I think more procedurally, if you like, I think it's important for me to see applications that are rigorous in terms of the way they present evidence. And I would say there's a difference between evidence and data. So it's not just presenting data, although obviously data is an important part of that. But it's the understanding, even if one can't always have causal analysis, that we do need evidence that can help policymakers and policy commentators understand the way the world works. So we do have to be alert to the idea that we are interested ultimately in cause and effect, and how one might want to identify that. Even if each research proposal itself might not do so, we want it to be informed by the debates about what mechanisms matter, what kind of actions by policymakers might lead to what kind of consequences in the population, and really research that is really addressing the drivers of the distribution of well-being and welfare, as opposed to really just documenting what's going on.